In November 2022, a company called OpenAI released a chatbot. They didn't advertise it. They didn't launch it at a press conference. They just put it on the internet and waited. Within 5 days, 1 million people had signed up. Within 2 months, it had 100 million users, making it the fastest growing consumer application in history. Its name was ChatGPT, and the moment it went live, something changed. Not gradually, not in theory, immediately. Lawyers started using it to draft briefs. Analysts started using it to summarize research. Marketers started using it to write entire campaigns. And executives at companies around the world opened up their spreadsheets and started asking a very uncomfortable question. How many of these salaries do we still need to pay? This is not a story about robots taking over the world. It's a story about something quieter, something already happening, the systematic repricing of human labor. And by the time most people realize it's happening to them, it already has. Most people feel it before they can name it. A low-grade anxiety that something has fundamentally shifted. You apply for jobs, and the process feels colder. Automated screening tools, no callbacks, ghosted after 3 rounds of interviews. You update your resume and wonder whether a human will ever actually read it. You watch colleagues get laid off and the roles never get refilled. In 2023, Goldman Sachs published a report estimating that AI could automate tasks across jobs held by 300 million full-time workers globally. 2/3 of American jobs, they said, are exposed to some degree of AI disruption. And then look at what actually happened. Between 2022 and 2024, tech companies laid off over 500,000 workers, many citing AI-driven efficiency as the reason headcount didn't need to be restored. Law firms began freezing junior associate hiring. Consulting firms started billing clients for AI tools doing the research that analysts once did manually. Media companies slashed editorial teams while quietly using AI to produce content at scale. This is the part nobody tells you. The disruption didn't announce itself with sirens. It arrived in the silence of positions that were never posted, in the junior roles that evaporated, in the mid-level jobs that got consolidated, in the performance reviews where managers said you needed to do more with less. You were already living inside the shift. You just didn't have a name for it yet. Here is what most people miss when they think about AI and jobs. They frame it as a future problem. They think, maybe in 10 years, maybe in 20. But the models are already here. ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok. These are not prototypes. These are production-grade tools being used by millions of businesses right now. And they don't just help people work faster. They change the fundamental question every employer asks. Before 2022, the question was, how many people do I need to do this work? After 2022, the question became, how much of this work can I eliminate from the payroll entirely? That is a different question, and it has a different kind of answer. The old disruptions, automation, offshoring, software, they competed with specific tasks. What AI is doing is competing with cognitive labor itself. The thing that knowledge workers always believed was immune. The analysis, the writing, the reasoning, the synthesis. For the first time in history, the core product of white-collar work, organized thought, can be mass-produced by a machine. That changes everything. To see this clearly, look at Ethan. Ethan is 34 years old. He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina. He's a financial analyst at a mid-sized investment firm. He earns $78,000 a year, a salary he worked a decade to reach. He went to a good university. He got his CFA certification. He put in the hours. For years, Ethan's value was obvious. He could take raw market data, build a model, stress test scenarios, and hand his manager a clean recommendation in a polished report. That skill took years to develop. In early 2024, his firm deploys an AI research platform. At first, it feels like a power tool, a task that used to take Ethan 3 hours. Gathering data, running comps, drafting the summary, now takes 40 minutes. He thinks, this is great. I'm more productive than ever. And then his manager calls a meeting. The team is being restructured. The firm no longer needs 4 analysts doing this work. It needs 2. Not because anyone performed badly, because the math had changed. 2 analysts with AI tools produce more output than 4 without them. Ethan keeps his job. His colleague of 6 years, a careful, diligent, reliable analyst, is let go. That evening, Ethan sits at his desk and stares at his screen. He didn't survive because he was smarter. He didn't survive because he worked harder. He survived because he adapted faster. And because, by luck, he was the one who had already started learning the tool before the decision was made. His colleague didn't see it coming. Most people don't. The first hidden rule is this: AI doesn't eliminate jobs randomly. It eliminates the jobs that were always secretly mechanical, even when we dressed them in expensive suits. Think about what Ethan was actually doing before the AI tool arrived. He was taking structured inputs, applying a known logic, and generating a formatted output. The logic was sophisticated. The formatting mattered. The judgment was real. But at its core, it was a reproducible process. And reproducible processes are exactly what machines eat for breakfast. This is the pattern that runs through every major disruption in modern history. In the 1980s, spreadsheets didn't eliminate accountants. They eliminated the humans who spent their days manually running the numbers that a spreadsheet could process in seconds. In the 1990s, ATMs didn't eliminate bank tellers, but they reduced the number needed so dramatically that every remaining teller had to become something the machine couldn't be. A relationship builder, a problem solver, a human face. Now look at what GPT-4 and Claude can do today. Draft a legal contract. Summarize a 300-page regulatory filing. Debug code. Write a financial model in Python. Produce a marketing strategy complete with competitive analysis. These aren't fringe capabilities. These are the core deliverables of entire professional industries. And they can be produced by a model that costs a fraction of a cent per query, in seconds, without a benefits package, without sick days, without a retirement fund. The uncomfortable truth is this: a huge percentage of what white-collar workers get paid for is pattern matching. Reading inputs, applying training, generating outputs. That's exactly what a large language model does. And it does it at a scale no human team can compete with. The second hidden rule cuts even deeper. It isn't just your job that's being repriced. The financial system itself is increasingly run by machines, and those machines are now getting smarter. This is the part of the story that almost never makes it into the mainstream conversation. Today, over 70% of all trading volume on U.S. stock markets is executed by algorithms, not humans making investment decisions. Algorithms. In 2010, a single algorithmic error triggered what became known as the flash crash. The Dow Jones dropped nearly 1,000 points in minutes and then recovered, almost entirely within a single trading day. No human caused it. No human stopped it. The machines did both. Now imagine those same systems supercharged with the reasoning capabilities of modern AI. Hedge funds like Citadel and Renaissance Technologies have been using machine learning models for years to identify patterns in market data invisible to human analysts. They are not competing against other investors. They are competing against human cognition itself, and they are winning. Here is what this means for the average worker. The pension funds and 401ks that are supposed to protect your retirement are increasingly managed by systems that optimize for returns, not for stability, not for equity, and not for you. When those systems malfunction, the losses are real. When they succeed, the gains flow disproportionately upward. The financial infrastructure of modern life is being quietly handed to an intelligence that doesn't vote, doesn't sleep, and doesn't care whether your savings survive. That is not a conspiracy theory. That is the current state of the market. Now, zoom out further. Because what's happening in Ethan's office and what's happening on Wall Street are part of the same structural shift. And there are really only two futures taking shape right now. The first is the optimistic version. AI amplifies human capabilities so dramatically that we enter a new era of abundance. Diseases get cured faster. Scientific discoveries accelerate. Creative work explodes in volume and quality. The people who can direct and collaborate with AI, who can ask the right questions, interpret the outputs, and make the judgment calls the machine can't, become extraordinarily valuable. One person, properly leveraged, can do what a team of 20 once did. And if that leverage is accessible broadly, the result could be the most productive economy in human history. That version is real, it is possible, and there are people building it right now. But there is a second version. In this version, the leverage concentrates. A small number of companies, the ones who own the frontier models, the data centers, the infrastructure, control the cognitive output of entire economies. Workers who cannot afford access to the best tools fall behind workers who can. The gap between the AI-augmented and the unaugmented widens every year. And eventually, you don't just have rich people and poor people. You have people who are economically legible to the new system, and people who are simply redundant. That version is also real, and which future we get depends almost entirely on decisions being made right now, by companies, by governments, and by individuals. Here is the question nobody wants to ask out loud. What happens to an economy when the machines become better at cognition than the humans? This is not science fiction. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, has publicly stated that AI systems, capable of automating most cognitive work, may arrive within years, not decades. Researchers call the theoretical point at which AI surpasses human general intelligence the singularity. Nobody knows exactly when it arrives, or if it ever does. But the interim period, the world we are living in right now, is already strange enough. Because you don't need human-level AGI to destabilize the labor market. You just need AI that is good enough, cheap enough, and fast enough to make a category of human work uneconomical. That threshold has already been crossed in many fields. And here is the brutal distinction that determines who survives this transition. The people who are likely to come out ahead are not necessarily the most educated. They are the ones who understand that they are now in a partnership with a machine, and that their job is to be the part the machine cannot replace. The person who can ask a better question than anyone else in the room. The person who can read a client's hesitation and know which argument to make. The person who can walk into a crisis, absorb ambiguity, and make a call. The person who can inspire a team, build trust over years, and bet their reputation on a decision. None of that is in the training data. None of that gets cheaper when compute costs fall. And the people who are most at risk? They are the ones who have spent their careers doing high-prestige, high-compensation work. Work that felt intellectual, but was actually deeply standardized. The associate who writes the same contract, clauses in different arrangements. The analyst who runs the same model with new numbers. The consultant who adapts the same slide deck to each new client. They were never doing what they thought they were doing. And now the machine is showing them what they were actually doing. Ethan still has his job. But he is not the same person who walked into that firm 10 years ago. After that restructuring meeting, he made a decision. He stopped trying to do the work faster. He started trying to do the work that couldn't be delegated to a model. He learned to sit across from a client and read the room in ways no dashboard could capture. He learned to translate the model's output into a story that a board of directors could actually act on. He learned that the most valuable thing he had was not his technical training, was his judgment, his presence, his reputation. Those things compound over time. Those things cannot be downloaded. Here is the uncomfortable truth at the center of all of this. We are living through the most radical repricing of human labor since the Industrial Revolution. And just like then, the outcome is not predetermined. The Industrial Revolution created misery for the workers who could not adapt. It created extraordinary wealth for the workers who understood that the machine wasn't the enemy. The machine was the leverage. What AI is doing right now is the same. It is not here to replace you. It is here to replace the parts of you that were always mechanical. What remains, the judgment, the relationships, the vision, the accountability, that is what the next economy is built on. The question is not whether AI will change your work. It already has. The question is whether you are building the things that compound, the skills, the reputation, the perspective, that make you more valuable as the machine gets smarter, or whether you are waiting for someone to tell you that you're safe, because no one is coming to tell you that. The rewriting is happening right now, and the only people who get to choose which version of the future they live in are the ones who understand what is actually going on. Now you do.